It's now time for Two Useless Organisms with your hosts, Tristan and Tommy.
Welcome to Two Useless Organisms, a show where two useless organisms discuss a variety of topics as it pertains to their meaningless existence. Today's show, we will discuss Hurricane Ian and childish things we do as adults. Keep in mind that Two Useless Organisms is not safe for work, so we will use naughty words at some points. Might even talk about some sex and drugs and rock and roll, as we like to do. I just realized it's really bright on my face. Why didn't I? Is that a little better? I don't even. Tristan, what's new with you, dog? What's up, homie?
Yeah, slide me some skin home, brother.
Yeah,
I've just been chilling. I survived the hurricane.
yeah, we did good. Yeah, we'll get into that in just a moment.
And that's about it, man. I'm still breathing, still eating chicken wings, so
Yeah,
can't complain.
yeah, I mean, the hurricane was probably the most recent thing, so I guess we'll just jump into that topic right now. This
Hop
could
in.
be potentially a shorter show. I don't know. But Hurricane Ian, yeah, yeah, in case you guys don't know, we reside in Central Florida, and both Tristan and I got very lucky. I feel extremely lucky because even places a little bit more west of me got hit harder with some flooding and damage.
Yes, I also very lucky. I'm only 10 or 15 minutes kind of, I think, northwest of Tommy. Um, and I didn't lose power, didn't have
Yeah,
any damage to my car or apartment, lost internet for like an hour or something, maybe not even that, which is miraculous because usually when
yeah,
you lose internet,
yeah.
it's out for a long time. Um, and yeah, so I was fine. We had me and Allison had our good friend Katie over, and she stayed
Oh,
the night with
nice.
us.
That's good.
Played some board games. My dog humped her arm about 55 times.
Oh my God.
Um,
Fucking dogs.
but yeah, no, we got through the hurricane just fine. Other parts of Florida, even parts directly around Tommy and I, weren't so lucky.
Yeah, like literally Universal Studios, 20 to 30 minutes west of me, they got hit pretty bad. One of their show buildings got some stuff ripped off of it.
There's a big hole in it.
Yeah, big hole in Jurassic Park River Adventure.
Big hole in Tommy's ass sick park.
Hey, hey, yo,
Hey,
my big old dump truck.
life
Yeah,
happens.
it do happen. Yeah, my my hurricane quarantine. My new girlfriend came over. She spent it with me and my roommate Bran. Day one of hurricane quarantine, we were all watching movies together. The next day, my roommate had to focus more on his schoolwork, and his girlfriend was doing some hurricane ride-out crew stuff at a resort. So
Mm.
bless her and all the amount of money she made doing that.
Is Brand's girlfriend's name Raisin?
Yes.
I've probably heard that joke a million times.
I don't think them as a couple have gotten that joke, but Bran has definitely heard Raisin Bran his entire life, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
But Hurricane Ian, yeah, I mean, when I was the worst of the storm, I don't know about you, Tommy,
Yeah.
but it passed when I was sleeping.
I think so too. Like
Yeah,
I think that's when the worst of it happened and Maria and I slept right through it.
yeah. So me too. I went to bed and it had been windy for a couple hours. It had been raining for about 36 hours, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I woke up, it was still
Yeah.
rainy and windy, but the hurricane was gone.
Yeah.
So
It's like I didn't even ask my roommate because I know my roommate had stayed up later because me and my girlfriend went to bed like early-ish. Like we probably went fell asleep before midnight. And my roommate stayed up until 5 or 6 a.m. watching Donner. Like we went out into the living room the next morning and like he was watching an episode. I'm like, oh, you started the show already? And then I saw that he was on episode 10. I'm like, what the fuck?
wow.
So me and her started that show, and me and her got through the first half of the show. Then after she left, I watched episodes 6 through 9. Nice. And I'm gonna watch the last one after we record today.
Hey, all right. Hey, can I want you to play this for you said Maria?
I guess so, yeah.
Is that
Something like that. Something like that.
well, you just said it. So,
Yeah,
why
maybe.
don't you every time she walks in the room, can you play this?
Yep.
How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you
Whatever that was, yeah, I'll play that, I guess.
It was the sound of music.
It was The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. I haven't seen The Sound of Music,
I mean, you gotta
and I
check. I
want
think
and
it's on Disney Plus.
it is on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I know Brand's a big fan of Sound of Music. I There's a million things that I need to watch that I just haven't gotten to. And you'd think with the 2-day hurricane quarantine that I would have gotten to it, but kind of was a nice little throwback to quarantine where,
COVID quarantine.
yeah, the COVID quarantine.
We're at the point where we've had several quarantines within recent years.
Yeah, first COVID, which was way too long, and then this
Mhm.
one was only 2 days, thankfully. Um, it's like I feel bad because like I got so lucky, and then like Fort Myers got fucking battered. Like looking at the pictures and videos of them, and then just even like other people that have gotten flooded, it's like it's so hard to watch.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
Son of a biscuit.
Yeah, and then oddly enough, like my family in North Carolina, like they lost power because
Oh,
like it went off the east coast of Florida, then like curved up into the Carolinas, and my fucking family lost power, and I fucking didn't somehow.
yeah.
I don't even. It's so weird.
It's odd living in Florida knowing that you're on just a little peninsula that sticks right out into the middle of the ocean. You know,
Yeah,
we're at way more of a risk for these types of storms. Yet
yeah,
we were fine, and your family in that whatever state
yeah,
got hit.
yeah. Which I mean, I don't think they're taking any damage or anything, but just the fact they lost power and I didn't is so weird to me. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even think I had too much troubles with hurricanes when I lived in North Carolina. When I was in college, there was one or two hurricanes that like caused some flooding in areas. Like one of them like caused some flooding in areas on our campus, but no major damage. And then one hurricane that caused flooding in areas of our state that prevented a bunch of our students from coming back, like and closed school for a few days. Like I think my school itself was fine. But like I remember I was able to drive back to my school just fine. And then literally the second I parked outside my apartment, they sent an email saying school's canceled tomorrow. And I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
um and then literally the semester after I graduated and moved to Florida, my school got hit with a bad hurricane that had them out of school for a month.
Your
And
school in
like,
North Carolina?
yeah, the school that I went at my university in University of North Carolina, Wilmington,
Uh,
got hit with Hurricane Florian, I believe it was called, or
mhm.
Florence.
Hold
I
on. I might
pretty
have it
sure it was.
here.
I think it was Florence.
Francis,
No, that was like 96.
Dorian,
Dorian, that was the one in
Florian,
Florida. Wait, fuck.
Wilma,
I don't know. It's either
COVID
Florida.
19. I don't
Yes,
know.
one of those things. But anyways, they were out of school for a month. Apparently some of the bio labs like got destroyed, and like some experiments that some professors were working on for like decades like got destroyed. And they're like,
Hmm.
fuck, this was my life's work. Now it's all
Yeah.
destroyed. And like other shit got destroyed, and it was very bad on the campus. So very weird how I moved to Florida and avoided a major hurricane.
Yeah.
Until a few years later, but even I got lucky with this one.
Well, here, because I want to segue this into another hurricane within
Mhm.
recent years, and that
Yep.
was Dorian.
Dorian, yeah.
Okay, Dorian shut shit down.
Yeah.
Dorian ended up not being anything.
Yeah.
Like it was
For
hardly a Florida rain, if I
yeah.
remember
Yeah,
correctly.
no, like that's what happened with us. Like, cause it was a category 5 that fucking battered the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And then it was heading up towards Florida, and like the parks were closing early that day. Um
Yes.
and I think I don't think they were planning to close them the next day. But like, yeah, it was literally just like incredibly light rain and a breeze. It was literally nothing, at least for Central Florida. Um,
I was pissy pantsed because I was one of those like people who panicked or whatever and went to get sandbags. So I sat in a line of cars for 3 hours to get
Oh,
sandbags.
fuck.
Got there, realized I had to shovel my own sand into the bags. Luckily, they had shovels, but then it started raining as I was doing that. So I was shoveling wet
Oh,
sand into bags,
oh,
putting those into my car. They were extremely heavy. I was sore for days after all this. Got home, put all the sandbags out. Nothing happened.
damn.
So fast forward to a couple days ago, I didn't do jack
Yeah.
shit to prepare for this. I mean, I got some supplies from the store.
Yeah.
And before I went to bed, I rolled up some towels and put them around like my patio door or whatever, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Like I think we still had cases of water from that storm from Dorian. So like Brand's girlfriend got us a couple gallons of water. I got us a couple more gallons of water. I got a few more things. My girlfriend brought over some things. It was more than enough. Like
Yeah.
we made out fine, and
Don't tell us what you did during the. You don't need to tell us that
I
you made
already.
out during the thing. All right.
Oh yeah,
Keep what
kissing's
you did
gross.
during the
Yeah.
private.
No, I don't. I don't kiss until marriage.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. What would you have done, Tommy, if you couldn't home make food for 3 days?
I would be eating a bunch of garbage probably.
Mhm.
Although on Sunday, I actually had the day off and made a really good spaghetti and meatballs, and it was homemade lamb and veal meatballs. So that sauce was fucking delicious,
Mm,
and we had some leftover of that during the quarantine of Ian. During the Ian quarantine.
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 Hey.
I shouldn't be excited about saying that because people's lives got ruined, but you know,
Well, that's what this show is about. It's about laughing at other people's misfortune while we enjoy our
yeah.
privilege.
I do like enjoying my straight white male privilege that didn't get destroyed by Hurricane Ian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which was none of it.
unlike Universal.
Yeah.
Universal got hurt. They got a few boo-boos,
Hmm.
which we'll be providing updates on our newest episode of Please Remain Seated. That's going to be uploaded tonight. I mean, we're honestly, I don't even think this episode's going to be uploaded before Please
No,
Remain
it's
Seated.
not. This episode's coming out October 3rd. So,
Yeah,
folks who are listening on October 3rd, go back and listen to the October 1st episode of Please Remain Seated and
yeah. I don't
listen
know dates.
to that.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah,
I don't know if I'll even get them out by then. Who cares? No
yeah.
one
Who
listens.
knows? Yeah. Anyway, yeah,
All right. Well, we survived Ian.
yeah,
On to the next. Bring the next one on. As long as it's not during my cruise next year,
yeah,
or next month, I do not care.
yeah.
I wonder what the
I d-
next one would be named.
let's see here. HIJ
Be a J. It's
J
probably Johanna.
Johanna.
Yeah.
See, a name that I thought of was Joaquin, but that was the name of one of the hurricanes in North Carolina when I was in college. So
Uh,
I think we still have to wait a few more years before we get another Joaquin.
Jimmy
Uh,
John.
Jimmy John.
Juju.
Have we had a good Jarlene? No,
Jar
that's
Jar.
Jar.
Hurricane Jar Jar. That would
Shit.
be the best.
Jane, Hurricane Jane.
Hurricane
Ooh,
Jane.
that sounds like a hurricane that would like fuck some shit up.
Uh-huh.
Like we got to save Jane for like a category 5
Or
or the first category 6.
you know how every major league stadium is named after a product?
Yes.
We start doing that with hurricanes. So you have like Hurricane Jiffy Lube.
So one that's hilarious, and a part of me is like I could see that happening, but then also I don't know if companies want their brand associated with the storm that ruined people's lives.
What about companies that thrive
Now,
on hurricanes?
now, yes, companies that thrive or they sponsor the hurricane in a way where like we will pay for all the damages that happen.
Yeah.
But then it will end up being $10 billion of damage.
Yeah.
And only like Google and Disney can afford that.
So there's gonna be a lot of Hurricane
And
Googles.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of Hurricane Googles, a lot of Hurricane Waltz,
Yeah.
Hurricane
Mickey,
Roy.
Hurricane Roy. Go through all the Disneys.
Oh yeah.
Hurricane Shrek.
Hurricane Shrek. Yeah,
Universal's got money. Comcast has money.
they do have money.
So does Comcast still do phone and internet?
I think so. I
They
don't
don't do it
know.
around here. I feel like it's all
Good.
Spectrum. I have
Yeah,
Spectrum. I don't know what else has.
Yeah, honestly, Spectrum hasn't done me dirty. I
No,
feel
they
like
kind of did me, but that's
oh, they did you
another
dirty.
story.
Okay, that's another story.
It's another
Ooh,
story.
ooh.
Well, well, it is Google sponsoring us? Is Hurricane Google sponsoring us, Tommy, or do we have a lesser
Hurricane
rich?
Hurricane Google is actually sponsoring today's video. So for anyone who has any hurricane needs or searching things, Hurricane Google has your back. If you ever need to search things with wind gusts of 201 miles an hour, you can Hurricane Google your search results, do your project for your research, and get flash floods while searching. Thank you, Hurricane Google, for sponsoring today's show.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
Something that we just invented 3 minutes ago was our sponsor.
Well, it was a coincidence that because I'm our sponsorship coordinator, and
Liaison.
you just kind of said that, and that just happened to be the sponsor.
It's weird how that was sitting in your inbox
Yeah.
right after I said it. So
Yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, it happens like with Elon Musk and all those things. Did he ever send you that hat?
no, my grandma
No.
bought me the hat.
Okay.
Yeah. I was wearing it just a few minutes ago before I decided to represent our other theme park podcast, Please Remain Seated,
Oh, word.
which to our audio listeners, I'm wearing a hat that says that.
Oh,
So
oh yeah.
let's hurricane on ahead here to my topic,
Ooh.
which is an interesting one. It's childish things we do as adults.
Ah.
And in case you don't, I'll read through mine, Tommy, just in case you want to get some
Okay.
ideas
Get some
sparked here.
juice
So,
flowing.
First of all, theme parks, right? Amusement parks. That's generally thought about being for kids, especially here in Central Florida, Disney.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
always says Disneyland, Disney World is kid stuff. But yet we are part of all the Disney adults
Oh yeah.
that go there. And then Universal is much more adult. So I don't even
Yeah.
think the term Universal adult exists.
Yeah. It's like
or-
maybe like the Harry Potter millennials, but like
yeah.
yeah,
So we do. I mean, that's one thing. Another thing, Disney movies, right?
Disney movies. Yep, love Disney movies.
You'd be surprised. I'm surprised at how many adults are really
Yeah.
into Disney movies.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm more surprised at like the amount of adults that like shame people for watching like animated movies. Oh, those are for kids, but like a lot of them are really good with really good messages too.
Mhm.
Like not like you can enjoy so many like rated PG and G movies like as an adult, but some people will automatically write them off. But like Disney especially has some good content like in the animated movie department.
Mhm.
There's like a few others that aren't Disney that are good. They're not as frequent, but like
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
I love How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Mhm.
Love that series. The Lego movies are
Mhm.
phenomenal. Love especially the original and the Lego Batman movie. Beautiful. There's a movie years back that came out called Home that was surprisingly really good. It was like an
I didn't see that
animated
one.
movie. I think there was aliens or something like that. I don't even remember much of it, but I just remember I really liked it. I thought it was cute. Did a good job.
My next one is Dino Nuggets.
Yes. Dino Nuggies. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, see, find me an adult our age, Tommy, that doesn't regularly eat Dino Nuggets. I just ate some yesterday or 2 days ago during the hurricane.
I have some in my freezer.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Like Dino Nuggies are the best.
Well, moving on to my next one. It's lying.
Like,
everybody does it. We all lie.
everyone.
We lie to
Yeah.
our coworkers. We lie to
yeah.
our closest relatives. We lie to our lie to our significant others, to our parents. Hi, mom.
Yeah. Hi, mom.
Do that, and so that's. I mean, We do it. We do it. And then that
Yep.
moves on to my next one here. Picking your nose. Everybody picks their nose.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not everyone does it in front of people.
Oh yeah.
Everyone does it.
It's the most efficient way to get the boogers out of your nose.
Yeah. Well, how else are you going to do it?
Yeah, you're just gonna blow your nose. Like no,
Blow your nose doesn't do it. Dude, the first thing I
doesn't
do when
do
I get in my
shit.
car after work, get it out. Go
Yep.
digging.
Oh yeah.
Whistle while you work.
Whistle while you work.
So this next one's kind of an interesting one. It's pretend we're someone else in our head, like kind of like playing make believe. So I like to say I'm guilty of it when like a song comes on and if I'm driving or walking or whatever, I'll be like, oh okay, I'm the guitarist of this band right now in my head. I'm playing a sold
Oh
out
yeah.
concert at Madison Square Garden. I am in Metallica.
Oh yeah.
Um, I do that like when watching certain movies too. Like I'll be like, oh man, I wish I was Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Procrastinate.
Oh my God, all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
It's because kids always do it. Kids always, wait to do their chores or whatever, and hey, did you clean your room? No, not yet. Did you do your homework? No, not yet. And then but we do that as adults all the time. We just aren't held accountable for it. It's just how we
Oh
it's
yeah.
actually kind of nice.
Best.
As long as you have it under control, like who cares, right? I did that in college all the time. All of my homework was done at 11 p.m. the night before it's due. All of it.
Yep. I, oddly enough, in college, yeah, in a way, it makes sense. But like, I did very good my very first semester. Like, I was so on top of my shit, and then my procrastination just got drastically worse as each semester went on.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I'm the same way. But I'll do my last one and then I'll
Okay.
let you have a few if you have them. But my last one
Yeah.
is relatable to everybody going to bed early.
Going to ooh.
Like, I don't know if you do that regularly, Tommy. Maybe you're still in your
Yeah.
teenage phase with that, but like, I'm dead after 10 p.m. usually.
Because I feel like that's almost an adult thing.
But kids are forced to though.
Yeah, true. Kids are forced to.
So like that's why I said it's a childish thing we do as an adult because like kids are forced to be in bed by 7, 8 p.m., whatever it is, depending on their age. But now like I want to do that. I'm 26. I don't want to be up late.
Yeah. It's like for me it really depends. Like I have my sleep schedules all over the fucking place. Like some days I'm up till 3 a.m. Some days I gotta wake up at 3 a.m. I think these last 2 months since Halloween Horror Nights has been a thing. I go to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal quite a bit. So I usually I've had to go after work most nights and I will stay till 2 a.m.
Jeez.
So every time I've gone to Horror Nights, I've stayed till 2 a.m.
Oh.
But then like I'm also gonna start opening like my work schedule is changing next week to where I will have Wednesdays off, so I won't have to go directly after work every time I go to Horror Nights. And my Friday, which is Monday, I'm gonna be opening, which will be 5:30 to 2 p.m. So like 5:30 a.m. to so my sleep I'm gonna be all over the fucking place with my sleep. But anyways, for my childish thing, so you made me you gave me some juice and reminded me of some things. Now, the only thing I had off the top of my head before this show was I fucking laugh my ass off anytime I see the number 69. I still laugh at the number 69. It is a fucking funny number. Like if I'm on Snapchat and I see the temperature is 69 degrees, I immediately send that snap to everybody with either the caption nice or a smirky face. Like, I mean, nice is, a little more like accepted. That's, everyone gets it. The smirky face is a little bit more on the nose. Like your mom's pussy when we're 69ing a yo. But I feel like the smirk face is a little bit more me, but everyone knows nice. So and then like if I'm in my car and I see that my temperature gauge says 69 degrees, I send that picture to everybody. Or if I'm at work and I have to, we're recording our data and it's close to 69, I will inflate the number so I can write down 69. I'm 12.
wonder what it is right now. It's been in the 60s the last couple days.
It has been. It's been fucking nice.
It was amazing. It
I'm
smells
like-
like fall outside.
Yeah, it's like between the temperature and all the leaves on the ground, Hurricane Ian really gave us fall in September.
Oh,
in
dude, I went
Florida.
outside the next morning, right? The morning after,
Oh
as
my
they say.
God.
And
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it
Thank
was.
God. I'm sorry a bunch of people died or whatever, but man, this is great.
Yeah, no, I benefited a little bit. Now for the things that you reminded me of. So talking in relation to Dino Nuggies, there's honestly just like a lot of kid food that's good, like Kraft mac and cheese. I will eat an entire fucking box of Kraft mac and cheese in one sitting. Like do some Dino Nuggies and Kraft mac and cheese, like fucking that's the fucking 5-star meal right there. You know, earlier in the show I talked about making a fucking lamb and sauce meatballs, fucking, but then I also fucking like my Kraft mac and cheese. And I always have to get the frozen 2 shapes as well, because the fucking shaped Kraft mac and cheese slaps in the face.
I eat frozen too, mac and cheese at least twice a week.
Awesome. See, you're cultured.
Yep.
And the other thing, you said like you'll pretend to be a rock star when you hear the music. So a lot of times I still imagine myself as a WWE wrestler.
Mhm.
Like, you know, sometimes I will hear a song and imagine me coming out to that music. I will still think of different songs that would be cool as entrance music. Or like I'll see a cool wrestling match and think about, man, I want to be kicked in the face too. You know, or you know, I could be I could say cool things on the microphone, or I'll th think about like certain wrestlers and the promos I would cut on them,
Mhm.
and I probably would not sound as cool as I do in my head. It probably wouldn't come out right, but in my head I'm thinking, man, I could cut the most badass promo on this motherfucker right now, and then win the world championship.
If you were a professional wrestler, you'd be the Juggernaut Jew.
The Juggernaut Jew.
Yeah.
I guess so. But I feel like Juggernaut is like a big tough person and I am a tiny person. I would probably if I was a wrestler, I would probably just be a jobber. So
Mm.
yeah. I would be enhancement talent.
You still need a name though, right?
Probably. I guess Juggernaut I guess I could I guess I can
You
use
just
that name.
did.
Yeah.
Just Jew, I guess.
Just Jew. Jew boy.
Jew boy.
No, yo, that would actually be like a good way, like, you know, somebody's in the ring and then like over the loudspeakers, Jew, and then my music would play and I'd come out. It would be like, you know, the Stone Cold glass shattering. Like people know Stone Cold is music about to hit, but when you hear the glass shatter, it's like, woo, but mine will be Jew.
Jew.
That would be great. I
Okay.
mean, there is a wrestler named Braun Strowman, and like he's a big like 300-pounder, fucking like beefy, and like his entrance music starts out, and he's a big scary man. So like mine would be that, but Jew, and it would be this tiny hairy weak man coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could always come out with a tray of spaghetti and like
Really
that
confuse
tray
the
of
fuck
spaghetti
out of it.
would always get thrown onto somebody or thrown back at you. You know, so it would be a prop.
Yeah.
It would be used as a prop.
You know, there is this indie wrestler that recently blew up online, Luigi Primo, and he was like a pizza guy, Italian. He'd be throwing a pizza, and like, you know, he was very popular for being funny. But then, I think it was revealed that the guy who plays that character is a anti-vaxxer, and you know, a bunch of other stupid shit. So everyone fucking hates him now.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he blew up, and then, yeah, immediately pooped the bed
Well,
on that. Darn, yo, that was the first poop mention on the show.
oh
Fuck,
shit.
we almost went an episode without talking about poop. Darn.
Wow.
I'm surprised that I'm the one that broke that.
Good segue here because this might be our first Yelp review that doesn't talk about poop.
Ah, thank God.
I found one that wasn't poopy.
Ah.
So we'll hop into that now. The Yelp review.
Yelp review. Yelp review.
All right. So this Yelp review here is for Father Hacksaw's Catholic Camp in Eldon, Missouri.
Ah.
I was looking for a place to send my son for a few weeks this upcoming summer. He just turned 13, and I think it's time he spend some time away from home and meet some new friends. I found what looked like a nice spot just a couple hours away in Eldon. I found myself on this very same Yelp page to see what others had to say and was surprised at how many people didn't recommend the camp. I decided to do a little reconnaissance and travel to the camp myself. My first impression was that I was concerned at how truly far away this camp is. Not only is it a 2 hour drive, but once you get to the forest the camp's at, you have to get on a trailer on the back of a truck and ride down to some tents and shacks at the bottom of a ravine. I walked to the bottom to avoid being detected, and about midway down the hill, I found the camp counselor's shack, where I noticed a sign on the door that read, "All counselors should not be out of their shack no later than 9 p.m. and no earlier than 8 a.m. Even the counselors have a strict curfew." I already had a bad feeling about this place, and I'm not even at the camp yet. I finally got to the bottom and began to look around to see what this place was all about. At first, it seemed pretty normal, like a Boy Scout camp I'd gone to in my childhood. There was a nice lake with a pier so the kids can easily go swimming, a nice campfire pit with benches around it, and a well kept looking shower and bathroom facility in the center. I was feeling good about this place, and to be honest, a little silly for climbing down a big hill to do all of this secretly. I decided to head back up and get home so I could call and book a spot for my son. I got about 50 feet back up when I heard some clanging from down below, and I looked to see an older man in short shorts and a lime green sweater stumble out of the shower building. That's also when I noticed that from this vantage point, I could see that the shower facility had no roof, and that beyond the trees surrounding the camp was a tall watchtower, almost completely enclosed except for the tinted windows on the wall looking down on the showers. The man down below then began climbing up to the watchtower, unlocked a hatch in the floor, and went inside, slamming the latch behind him. Well, I immediately knew that something was weird here, and I already felt that I was not sending my son to this camp. On my way back up, I found a crumpled up flyer listing the activities offered, which included midnight wrestling lessons, a class called Why Jesus Wants You to Keep Secrets, and a campfire sing along at the end of every evening where Father Hacksaw sings his trademark song, "You're All 13 to Me." At the bottom of the flyer was an intensely written notice that laundry is to be done every day and all clothes are to be washed during laundry, including Father Hacksaw's. A few feet away was a camp dictionary with a few normal camping terms, but also some alternate definitions for the words rape, pedophile, molestation, consent, and genitals. I now knew that I had to stay the night to see what actually happens here when the sun goes down and the camp counselors get locked in their shack. I made a little shelter for myself with some sticks and big pieces of trash and waited for nightfall. At 9 p.m., Father Hacksaw climbed down from his tower and poured some gasoline on a pile of logs in the fire pit and threw his cigarette on it. Within seconds, the fire was 10 feet high, and Father Hacksaw began violently clanging a cowbell to signal for the kids to come over to the fire. He then exclaimed, "Before we get started on our nightly sing along, I have a special presentation to give you, and those who participate will be rewarded with extra Pringles for breakfast tomorrow." He then pulled a wagon full of old dolls out from behind his shed and handed one to each of the kids. Then, one by one, he asked each kid the question, "Where did he touch you?" And without fail, every kid pointed to the shoulders of their doll as if brainwashed. I was shocked. This guy is training kids to lie in court when he undoubtedly gets accused of child molestation. The rest of the night wasn't quite as disturbing, but disturbing nonetheless. They roasted marshmallows and made s'mores, except they must have been all out of graham crackers because all the kids were sandwiching the chocolate and marshmallows between was Fiber One bars. Then Father Hacksaw led the kids in a campfire sing-along, performing the classics like Kumbaya and Country Roads, but he ended the night with an original song, "You're All 13 to Me." I would feel dirty and might technically be committing a crime by reciting these lyrics, but rest assured it was horrible. I stuck out the night to make sure nothing terrible happened to these kids. I went back to civilization the next morning, where I now find myself behind my computer, puzzled at what to do next. I'm debating calling the police, but what I am sure of is that you should not enroll your children in Father Hacksaw's Catholic camp. 0 out of 5 stars.
Well, it just gotta love the Catholics. Am I right?
You right. Gotta love them.
Yep.
I was in Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts myself.
Mm-hmm.
Had an oddly similar scenario here. Wasn't a Catholic troop, wasn't Catholic camps or anything like that. But man, those Boy Scout leaders, they love little boys. Can tell you that. But anyway, so I want to mention here, I did a little digging myself, and I actually found the studio version of "You're All 13 to Me."
I don't know if I want to hear that ever in my life.
Well, don't worry because you can't hear it now, but I'm going to insert it into the audio
Oh,
here.
cool. I'm not going to listen to this episode.
Yeah, well, I don't think you do anyway. I listen to all of
Yeah.
our episodes several times each, but that's just me. It makes our downloads look better. But anyway, so we're gonna insert that here, and we'll insert that right at the very end. But I want to say thanks for everyone for listening. Leave a rating and reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube, please. We're putting out our episodes on YouTube. We're also starting to cut little segments out and putting those on YouTube as well. So if you just want to hear Tommy's thing about this or my thing
5
about that,
stars.
rate 5 stars, comment, blah, 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 and tell your weird friends about us. Tommy?
Yes.
All right. Father Hacksaw, take it away.
Please don't. Don't. I don't want Father. Please, Father.
Sitting down, staring at the lake. The good father's hand, feeding you some cake. Thinking about all the beauty in this land. Father Hacksaw slowly takes my hand. He says, you know, you and the others, you're kinda getting old. But don't worry, my feelings won't grow cold. Your body's changing, just like the other boys. But remember our private times and all the passionate noise. Because you're all 13 to me. Growing up and getting big, but to me you're just a kid. You're all 13 to me. Going to college and getting hitched, my loins swell with ecstasy.
Progress. Nailed it.
I got you.
Caught me off guard. I remembered it. But I was thing. Okay.